It's not about not having, it's about knowing that you have enough. Hi guys, it's Martin Cliffe here. How are you doing? I just wanted to, first of all, thank you. The response from my first video in my Baby Steps to Minimalism has been better than I expected. And the kind of side-along video on my main channel that directed people to it as well has had a really positive response, more comments than I've had in a video in a long time. So yeah, I want to thank everyone for that. And I also wanted to just address some questions and some things that have been asked along the way. As a guitar player, as a musician, but primarily an electric guitar player, it is the hardest thing to be minimal, in the sense that our entire industry, our entire style of playing and sound and everything else is based around having lots of different stuff that then you use to inspire creativity in terms of different sounds and textures and all that kind of thing. So I'm never going to achieve the level of minimalism that is the YouTube norm if you search under that thing, and that's fine with me. What for me is the battle is that I've reached a tipping point where I've realised that the amount of stuff I have it's not so much that it's reached a point where I have enough, it's reached a point where it's becoming an obstacle to my creativity and to generally the mindset that I need to be in to create, because it's all clutter and it's getting in the way. So I'm not going to be the person who takes all my paintings off the walls and the artwork and stuff, although some of it I'm not so worried about. It does not bring me joy in the same way as other items do. And that's kind of the point of it is taking everything and saying, does this bring me joy? So I will not, at the end of this process, have 29 guitars. They are starting to gradually move on. I can't imagine that I'll have the number of pedals and amplifiers and such things that I have at the end of this process. But it doesn't mean, as I was asked by one of my loyal viewers over both channels, am I going to go down to one guitar and amp? No, because I have purpose, and I have purpose for multiple guitars, and I love having multiple guitars. They bring me joy. But I'm not going to keep on with 16 electric guitars, for instance, and 5 acoustic guitars, and 6 bass guitars. Many of those numbers will be pretty much halved. I can't see me going lower than the 8 electric guitars that I use all the time. The other 8 I don't use, so I don't need them, so they can move on. I need an acoustic guitar and a classical guitar. I didn't count the classical guitar in the 5, so the other 4 can move on. I need at least 2, realistically 3 basses, so just because when I'm teaching it's much more helpful to play a 4-string bass, but my instrument of choice is a 5-string bass, and then for some situations I need to have a fretless bass. So those 3 will stay, but the others can move on. And it's this battle all the way along of how far will you go? Well, I'll go to a point where it no longer becomes a stumbling block, where it actually enables me to be more creative as a result. Clearing stuff away that is a distraction, not just in terms of music equipment, in terms of everything. My next video, I think it'll be episode 3 of the series, is going to be a bit of a wardrobe clear out, closet clear out if you're an American, although we don't have closets anywhere else in the world in the same kind of way, because they're distractions, they're stuff that I don't need, that actually makes it more difficult in the morning to decide what I'm going to wear for work, or if I'm not at work or whatever. It's taking little things step by step. I went to clear out yesterday my storage room, or one of my storage spaces. I'm fortunate that in the job I'm in I have access to storage that has more space in it than I need for my work stuff. Fortunate because that's rare in Hong Kong, not fortunate as in it just encourages me to keep stuff that I don't need. And just rubbish that is no use to anybody pretty much. Filled 4 bin bags and I cleared out a load of boxes. The danger with consumerism and collecting of stuff is that you cross the tipping point into hoarding, and that's something that I'm very conscious I never want to get to. So that this kind of clearing out, as well as the fact that we live not a nomadic lifestyle, but we live the kind of lifestyle where we are likely to move significant distances at some point in the next few years again. We did it a few years ago. We moved from the UK to Hong Kong. Exactly when we're leaving Hong Kong, we don't know, but the more stuff you have to move, the more expensive it is, so therefore you're increasing your carbon footprint just in the process of moving. The more hassle it is. It's just it's very difficult. So certainly, having too much stuff, and that's the key. I think that is kind of my message of why I'm doing this, and something I think it's worth everybody thinking about is it's not about not having stuff. Have the stuff that you can afford as long as you're not getting into debt, and that brings you joy, encourages you to be creative in whatever discipline is your chosen discipline, or contribute positively to whatever your community is. Have those things. To me and the people that I respect who are involved in the minimalism community, and all, that's the message that they put across. It's not, oh, you have 4 pairs of shoes, you should only have 3. No, that doesn't work. It's about knowing when you have enough. So if you live somewhere that has distinct seasons, then maybe you need 5 or 6 items of footwear, because you might need snowshoes, and then you might need flip-flops, and you might need, if you travel a lot, you need different things for different climates. We are going at Christmas back to the UK. It's going to be cold there. It's never cold in Hong Kong, never really cold in Hong Kong. So, or maybe we get a week or 2 a year that the temperature drops to a point where you need a sweater. So, and needing stuff for different wardrobes, that means that there are things that I will need to take to the UK. I have a ridiculous amount of stuff in the UK. That's a whole other issue that will be coming up in a few weeks' time, possibly into the new year. But all these things, and I've talked way too long on this, but I just wanted to kind of reassure people that it's not that I'm throwing everything away. It's not that I'm going down a path of no return. It's just a case of I know what enough is, and I know what too much is. And is life better with less? I'm convinced that life will be better with less than what I have now. It doesn't mean that I want to get to a point where I don't think life would be better with more, because that's defeating the purpose of the whole process. And it's not about money. It's never been about money. It's about not having stuff that clutters your mind, clutters your soul, clutters your being and your house and environment and everything else like that. Because that, to me, is the key to minimalism. It's decluttering the stuff that gets in the way. Thanks for watching, guys. More videos coming soon. Take care. I'll speak to you soon.